The Week 1 NFL schedule has been leaked, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at it right here. And the schedule officially comes out at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll go live our normal time, right when we normally go live, Monday through Friday. Every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I go live. We'll be talking about the entire schedule. Weeks 15, Week 16, Week 17 is a real important part about fantasy football schedule. Glancing, and we're going to be looking at this number right here for the next couple minutes here. Thursday night, Wednesday night. Don't forget there's a Wednesday night football game in Week 1. Patriots at Seattle. Such an interesting choice by the NFL with the Vrabel situation, the matchup, the rematch. 49ers, Rams in Australia. Bears, Panthers, Bucks, Bengals. Look at this right here in the graphic. We're breaking it all down. The schedule, Week 1, leaked. We're taking it in. We're examining it. We're checking it twice. Let's find out who you're starting in week number 1, ladies and gentlemen. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the TheFantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live.
Get buckied. Buckied. Buckied.
Get Bijan.
So excited. So excited. We got the week 1 schedule right here. Can't guarantee that this is 100% accurate, but it is being reported everywhere. And the sources that this is coming from, they're pretty good sources. So I think we're looking at the legitimate week 1 schedule. Patriots at Seattle on Wednesday night. Again, such an interesting choice by the NFL to do the rematch. I mean, even if they were planning to do this, it's wild. It's fun. We want to see it. It is 100% the best choice. It is 100% what I want. So this is fantastic. What will happen? Will this shed too much light on the Patriot situation to cause maybe some sort of more media strikes at Vrabel in that situation? We'll see. The media can't get enough of it. Thursday night, 49ers at the Rams, Australia. What does anybody know what time that game? Let's ask Rex. I don't know if Kruger would know. I don't even ask Kruger anything anymore. He's been so bad. Hey Rex, what time is the Australia game on Thursday Night Football Week 1? Niners and the Rams. What time is that Eastern time?
It's on Thursday, September 10th at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the NFL's first ever regular season game in Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, streaming on Netflix. Note that while it's technically Thursday night here, it'll be Friday morning down under.
Friday morning down under. Okay, so 8:30, not a big time difference. So they're obviously doing this, not at the same time in Australia. So that works. That's a good time frame. I'm glad that didn't end up being some weird time. Bears at Panthers on the morning slate of games right here. Bears at Panthers, Bucks at Bengals. What a shootout that game's going to be. Can't wait to see that Bucks-Bengals game. That's great. Ravens at the Colts. Bills at Texans. Tough draw for Cook and the boys. Saints at the Lions. Love that potential shootout. Detroit's got arguably, according to a lot of different, strength of schedules, the easiest schedule in the NFL, or at least it's going to be top 4. Jets at the Titans. Good potential outing for Cam Ward here, I think. Browns at Jaguars. We should see Liam Cohen and the boys get all dolled up for that one. Falcons at Steelers. Commanders at the Eagles. What a late Sunday contest right there. Packers, Vikings, Cardinals, Chargers, Dolphins, Raiders. Sunday night, Giants, Cowboys, and Broncos at Chiefs Monday Night Football. Great schedule. I have really no complaints here. The only thing I don't love is the Bills at Texans. Not that it can't be a good game still, but that's the only game I'm looking at going, damn. I want that entire squad to ball out, and they still might. A lot of changeover, a lot of things occur in an off season. So it's not like the Texans are a team you can't figure out how to throw on, or it'll be a fun game for sure. But I was kind of looking for a Bengals type of matchup for the Bills in week number 1. Great schedule. Saints Lions, can't wait for that game. Bucks Bengals, probably the two most, and then this Wednesday game obviously, but the two most anticipated games. Commanders Eagles and Saints Lions and Bucks Bengals are probably the 3 that I'm most excited about. But that is your week 1 schedule, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to open the phone lines up again briefly, and then we won't be here too long. But I wanted to do a separate live stream for the schedule release because this was a big one. This leak was huge. Week 1 schedule being leaked is huge. Phone lines are open briefly.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, that Niner Rams game is down under on Friday. Which is wild. The times, man. I mean, the times are crazy. What time is that Australian game going to be at Australian time? Let's ask Rex. Hey, Rex. Hey, Rex. That down under game, Niners Rams week 1 Thursday night football. That's actually Friday down under. What time down under are we talking? What time is it in Australia when these Rams and 49ers are kicking off?
It's 10:35 a.m. local time on Friday morning down there. In Melbourne, that's ASET. Australia.
That's not bad. The times match up pretty well, where it's normal Thursday night football game for us, 10 a.m. Kind of wild time difference, right? So that time matches up. Australia games are obviously not as bad for us in the States. It's these 6:30 a.m. West Coast times for these overseas games that are just ridiculous, and I can't stand them. I think the NFL is ridiculous. I don't care what they're trying to do. You can see till you're blue in the face. So they're trying to expand. I don't care. Expand a different way. Allow free viewership. NFL Sunday Ticket or something like. I don't like it. The players don't like it. No one likes it. In the States, it doesn't help anybody that's currently a fan of the NFL outside of them trying to reach a new audience. But you can reach a new audience without making the players travel across the world. I mean, next thing you know, we'll be playing on the moon. Which honestly, for a lot of the players that we like, would actually work out pretty well. A lot of them are already there, waiting on Mars, waiting on Jupiter, waiting on the moon to play. There will be no travel at all. Least amount of miles traveled for Jahmyr Gibbs if they play on the moon 2 or 3 times a year. You know what I'm saying? But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Bro's like home at Detroit for Gibbs is on the moon, at the moon. Michael, you're live.
Yeah, man, just wanted to speak to you and get your thoughts on the strategy going forward. We seem like we're going to have a lot more Wednesday, Friday, and some Saturday games mixed in here. So for fantasy, obviously, we're going to have some tougher calls mid-season when we have injuries and bye weeks. And just, what's the strategy and kind of like, getting through the season? Hey, I got a questionable guy on Wednesday, or I got a questionable guy on Saturday, but I have a game Wednesday. I might need to start this guy. You know what I mean? So
great question. And honestly, it's unknown territory, uncharted waters. But I would say, like off the top of my head, handcuff situation is pretty good. like a
definitely.
Bucky, Kenny Gainwell, Sean Tucker, Christian McCaffrey, Jordan James, Kalen Black. Like, just saying off the top of my head, if I'm worried about what this kind of schedule could maybe do, open the door to these situations. If you've cuffed up and like, I'm not saying you just go in and target cuffing situations only, because not every situation should be cuffed, plain and simple. But it's not the worst idea to consider, all things being equal. Or if I'm not normally cuffing up all three of these guys here, well, now you might consider it. Or if you're cuffing this entire room over in LAC, or the Walker and Johnson. Like, I think the cuffs will be important this year for that reason. It's a good point. Other than that, I don't know. And, we're going to face some new dilemmas for sure. They are really loaded. If anybody doesn't know, they're loading up this year on games outside of the States. I mean, it is like, there's so, how many are there? It's just a boatload. It's a boatload. It feels like it's every week. How many? Do we know how many overseas games there are? Let me see if I can get Rex to help us with that. Hold on. Let's see what he has. Hey Rex, how many overseas games are there? How many games outside the States this year in the 2026 NFL schedule? It seems like a lot. He takes a little longer than Kruger sometimes, but he's better.
There are 9 overseas games in the 2026 NFL season. That's a record, spread across 7 countries on 4 continents: Australia, Brazil, the UK with 3 in London, France, Spain, Germany, and Mexico. You're right, it does feel like a lot. It's the biggest international slate yet, with 16 different teams involved, and a couple like the Jaguars and 49ers playing twice abroad. Want me to run through the full list of...
Why do the Jaguars always get screwed on this? The Jaguars, I remember Trevor Lawrence and the Jags had, like, I forget if it was last year, 2 games that were really close together. Like, there was 1 game in between or 2. I don't know if I remember correctly. And it was 2 overseas games. Like, it felt like nearly back to back. Why are the Jaguars always getting 2 overseas games? Does anybody have any clue as to why that is? Let's ask Kruger. Let's ask Rex that question. Hey, Rex, why are the Jaguars always getting screwed and given multiple overseas games? Is there a reason or rationale behind that? He's deep diving. He can't find it. He's like...
It's not really the Jaguars getting screwed. It's mostly by design, and they're actually making bank from it. Shad Khan, the owner, made a deal back in 2012 to basically become London's adopted NFL team. Other owners didn't want to give up a home game, but Khan saw the upside. The Jaguars get to keep all the ticket sales, suites, merch, concessions, everything from those London home games. We're talking $35 to $50 million per game. Way more than a regular home game in Jacksonville. That extra cash has been crucial for a small market team. The NFL loves it too, because the Jaguars have been the reliable partner that helped build the whole international brand. They've played like 14 or 15 games over there since 2013. This year's 2 back-to-back London home games also line up perfectly with renovations at their stadium. It gives them weeks to do construction without fans around. So yeah, it sucks for local fans who lose home games, and the travel's brutal for the players. But from the owner's perspective, it's smart business.
I mean, it is all about money. And that is some big money. That is some big money. How is it even that much? That's crazy how it's that much money. But they love that long blonde hair, that lion mane type hair on T Law. By the way, he didn't cut his hair. If anybody didn't hear that it was AI and all that stuff spreading around. But yeah, it makes sense why they're doing it when you break down the numbers. Small market team getting all that cash money. All right, Michael, what else you got? I mean, any ideas or questions around what you were asking about, like how to prepare other than cuffs would make sense.
I was thinking maybe we start seeing, it's crazy to say, we might start seeing more wide receiver cuffs in a sense. Not all situations are created equal, but if we got a bunch of games on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday before Sunday, you might have to make some tough calls. Let's say Justin Jefferson's out or something like that. Maybe Juwan Jennings is a good follow-up. Just late round flyers you're going to have to take just to, band-aid your team throughout the season.
Yeah,
because,
I think we'll come up with
Wednesday games, Friday games is just
we'll come up with some things on the fly. Rare says, wow, Smitty, you fell for AI. Did I say that? Did I say I fell for AI? I said, hey, everybody, I'm speaking to you. That so you don't fall for it. I didn't fall for it. Where did I say I fell for it? I think you need to get your ears cleaned out. I said to you, because I know you fell for it. I said, and guys, T-Law didn't cut his hair. Where did you hear that I fell for it? Where did I say I fell for it, Rare? The only other thing I can think of, bro, too, would be like in best ball, the cuffing situation is a little easier, but it also is optimal scoring. So things like even the Gadsden and Njoku, even the Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields, like those kinds of things are pretty good in best ball. I've been drafting a lot of Mahomes and then another quarterback like honestly, I do a lot of like small bully, cheap bully QBs like Herbert and Mahomes. They both go like 7th and 8th round or 6th and 7th round or whatever. And then if you just grab Fields at the very end, you can not worry about getting a third quarterback. And then all of a sudden you're kind of cuffed up, and that situation would help you with any sort of Mahomes. If Mahomes were to miss, let's say, a couple games, I don't know what week 2 is going to look like, but like in that example, or the fact that like Mahomes is the Monday night game. You'll never have to worry about things like that if you grab Justin Fields and grab a really competent second quarterback, so you're not really worried about it at all. Things like that. Yeah, cuffs are going to be real important this year. You just don't think that all cuffs are important. Not all cuffs are equal. But there are certain situations that you could literally say, I really like the cuffed combo more than a non-cuff situation. So when everything's equal and I'm looking at Bucky becomes one of the most attractive players to draft in the nearing 5-round territory. He's in the 43-44 right now. He's getting closer and closer to the end of the 4th. The news that he isn't cleared yet is for some reason panicking people. I don't know why. They're not paying attention to what that means, and that's not necessarily a negative. But the Bucky Tucker Gainwell combo in best ball, I mean, that's as safe as it gets, man. That's a real safe combo.
I think running backs are going to be a must. Backs are going to be a must this year.
I won't draft McCaffrey much at all in non-best ball, but in best ball, you cuff him to James and Kalen Black, it's not a big deal. Like you're pretty well set. They're going to have production no matter what. So, McCaffrey's not necessarily I am drafting a lot of Kalen Black and Jordan James without McCaffrey because I'm a wild man. I'm a crazy man. But I'm definitely not scared to draft McCaffrey with the combo. It's just sometimes it comes down to me saying I'd rather have Genty, Kalen Black, and Jordan James in a lot of ways than having McCaffrey, Jordan James, Kalen Black. But I think McCaffrey's very safe to draft if you cuff him to both players. All right, anything else?
Nah, man, that's it. I appreciate what you do, man.
Later, bro.
Really getting me through work.
Yep, thanks, man. What kind of work? Oh, never mind. Say what kind of work. Don't tell me where, but what kind of work. Tell me in the chat what kind of work. I'm just curious. I'm always curious what you guys are doing when you're out and about. Like Bruce driving a forklift and stacking, some like 3 foot high while he's listening to the show. He's listening to Smitty yelling and screaming as he's trying to balance, 5 different crates. Walker, Johnson, number 1 cuff. They're a fantastic one, Bruce. They're a fantastic one. That's why I moved up the Walker, and actually I haven't moved it up yet. It's hard to move it because these are still vital. Manungai's almost not a cuff. He's like a starter. So like I almost want to put that like right here and not have it there, and then move the Walker Johnson, one like over, because Manungai's like not a cuff. He's like a starter. You know? So I think I'm going to do that because it doesn't make much sense to have it. I don't know what other cuff I would. I think Pacheco is really intriguing. Washington's, really solid. If we were to do like a Genty and a Washington here or whatever. I just don't know that Monangai can be considered a cuff. As much as we want to act like that situation deserves to be on this board because we want to speak to Monangai, I'm going to put it right here, and we're just going to continue to reference it as it's just a one-off. He's technically the backup, but he's getting drafted almost too high to be considered that. So we'll put it like that. Harvey Coleman, love Harvey Coleman. Love it. All right, Angry Bruce, keep it clean, or I'm gonna start potentially I might ban you from the phone line if you don't keep it.
No, it's clean today.
Okay, I'm saying no more slip ups. What's up?
Okay. Anyways, Bears at Panthers. Since we're talking about Monangai and all that,
yeah.
How bad does the Panthers beat, or the Panthers get beat? The Bears are going to stomp them. Week one.
That's why they play the game. That's why they play the game, though, my boy. I agree. If I had to, life's on the line, make a decision, it's certainly not going to be the Panthers. But man, anything can happen. It's in Carolina. The Bears lost a lot of pieces. They might not. They with Ben Johnson, I think they'll be fine. They're always going to be fine. But I wouldn't be completely cashing your checks yet on that one.
Really, that was my lock. When I was looking at your what you posted up, and I was out of all the teams, I'm Bears at Panthers. It just looks it seems
mismatch. It seems like a good one. I'll tell you that. If I had to pick my one team to lose, it would probably be the Texans. I know they're a tough defense, but I don't think the Bills are losing that game. But I don't know that I'd use my Bills card yet if we're playing an eliminator. Definitely feel I just don't trust Stroud. I don't care what the Texans did last year. But
and speaking of the eliminator, and not even eliminator, a weekly. Because you're kind of keen on that, and I'm not. I usually just do a puppy or something.
I think the Jets might be the one of the locks to lose. So the Jets at Titans, the Browns, man, I don't know. Probably the Browns, Jets, then Texans, probably the Colts because I don't think Danny Dimes is going to be ready. Panthers,
yeah.
I don't know, bro. You could make an argument that not one of those that I mentioned, you don't think that's one that should be a consideration for a pick if you were doing an eliminator. If I had to decide on a team, thank you 420 man for gifting the membership. If I had to decide on a team to lose and I had to pick now, I would say damn.
Well, because like you said, this week one stuff, what you're doing right now is huge. This can influence, like you said, the week one eliminator and the weekly winner.
Yeah, could be. We got a lot of time.
Knowing the schedule and who's facing who, and like you're saying, Bills at Texans, you're locking that in.
I'm not locking
that's
it.
Something. I'm just saying that's something I could use though.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd use my eliminator pick on that if you're trying to pick a team and you can't use them again in your pick'ems. I would probably say. Look, the thing about you break it down like this: you go, okay, Danny Dimes, is he healthy? Is he not? Colts, that could be a struggle bus game. But then again, it's Ravens, new system, how's that going to work? Texans were amazing last year on defense, but what's everything going to look like this year? Are they going to be better on offense? Maybe they're not. They're certainly not a lock to lose. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at these other matchups. I'm not going to go near the Niners and Rams. I'm not going near the Patriots and Seahawks if I'm picking an eliminator. Not going near the Bucks and Bengals. Not going near the Saints or Lions. Not going near the Falcons Steelers. Not because I think one's, you just don't know. Commanders, Eagles, Packers, Vikings, Cardinals, Chargers, Dolphins, Raiders, Cowboys, Giants. I mean, none of these are safe at all. The only ones that feel a little more safe would be Ravens over the Colts, but not a lock by any means. Bills over Texans, not a lock. Titans over Jets, not a lock. Jaguars over Browns, not a lock. And then you're right. I do feel like on paper, the Bears at the Panthers feels like the weak link. But this is why they play the game, my boy. You know, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. The Panthers could bring it.
I would think Monungai, I mean, going on to where you were talking about Monungai, I think that would be one of his better games is against those guys, right?
Monungai, probably going to have a good game, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know that any of these, yeah, I appreciate it, Bruce. Later, bro. I just don't know that any of these have like a feel of lock. Like I'd be kind of waiting for more news and more like waiting till I couldn't lock something in here. Like sometimes I'd say, oh yeah, give me that game now. I don't care about what happens between now and 4 months. But good Lord, I mean, you can say, oh, Bears. I think it's more like, Caleb's still got a lot to prove. If Caleb didn't have those 2 end of game passes, the Packers unfolding at the very end, and then that Hail Mary that will go down as one of the best Hail Marys in the history of the NFL, for sure. Like give the man and give the moment the credit it deserves. If those 2 plays didn't happen, we'd be talking about a very different Caleb Williams. I don't think people want to admit that. Those are 2 plays that changed the course of the way people look at him. He was a near 50% completion percentage passer, and he also he was dead last in the entire league in bad passes. Like there's still a lot. I'm not trying to crap on him. I'm just saying there's a lot that still needs to happen. That losing weapons, offensive line changes, walking into week 1 against a team that, as much as I give Luis a lot of crap for Bryce Young not being him long term, he and the Panthers are kind of a little dog mentality. You got a really, really good wide receiver room over in Carolina. You got a very underrated Chuba Hubbard. You got a really good head coach. This is a home game in Carolina. Like, it's not a lock by any means. Eagles, Commanders, that's not a lock. That's the furthest thing from a lock. Whoever was saying the Eagles in the comments. I don't know. Jets are a pretty bad team. Titans aren't, unfortunately, not good enough to say that's a lock, but it's something you look at. Colts, Colts have JT. I wonder how healthy Dimes will be for that. But Ravens have a new offense. Like, it's hard to say. New staff. I'd probably lean, if I had to lean one way right now, I would say Liam Cohen and the Jaguars against the Browns, who are kind of probably going to be very unsure. This is in Jacksonville. I'd say Jaguars at home versus the Browns. If I had to pick the weakest link here on this entire board, because the Browns are a very bad organization with an unsure quarterback situation. They might lean on Watson, who hasn't played in how long? Like, Watson hasn't played football. He hasn't started games consistently in how long? And he's the likely lead quarterback option at this moment in time. Give me the Jaguars, I guess, if I had to pick one right now. All right, 1 or 2 more phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Lions are a lock. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate you. Lions are a lock. Brock says, yeah, Lions are a lock, says Trey. I don't know how you say that. A lock? I mean, the Saints are a pretty dangerous team. They just got ETN. They just drafted Jordan Tyson. They added 2 amazing weapons and Shuck is coming into his zone. This is a very good system. Air attack could win any kind of game that, you're not expecting. Lions, new offensive coordinator, who I like in Petsy, but that's not an easy call. That's the furthest thing from a lock, my boy. Not saying the Lions can't win that game. I'm just saying that's not a lock. That's a lot of weaponry. ETN in Olave and Tyson and Shuck, and that is the kind of team that, regardless of defense, both defenses letting scoring happen. Who knows? This is kind of why you say Lions have the easiest schedule in NFL, and they're considering the Saints and things like that not to change. That's why you got to take the strength of schedule a little bit lighter than you want to, a little bit grain of salt like. All right, Hammer, you're live, young man.
Yeah. Not to be a homer, I really hate to do this, but Panthers did take Stafford really to the wire in a playoff game, and I tend to lean towards Stafford over Caleb Williams. So I am actually going to take the Panthers to win at home based off me just still not trusting Caleb Williams and kind of the mistakes and turnovers, and the Panthers have one of the best secondaries. And again, Panthers aren't going to really go anywhere this year, but that offense is going to be, I think, a little underrated. So,
Could be. Trey, not everything's about you. Okay, I know you think it is, but you said Lions are by far the safest, and then Brock said, I think the Lions win is a lock, and I said, it's not a lock, and you think I'm talking to you all the time, Trey, but I'm not. There are actually other people in the live chat. Who would be your, if you had to pick, and I'm not saying any one of these are a lock, but if you had to pick like a eliminator, where each week you take a team, but if you take them, you can't take them again, so you can only use them once. What team would you feel? What would you feel safest grabbing here in an eliminator? Pick them.
I think Jaguars.
Yeah, that's what I said. I just think the Browns
Jags just kill them.
It's in Jacksonville. Browns are by no means settled on their quarterback situation, and again, it sounds like Watson's leading the way. And if Watson ends up starting this game, he's going to be so shaky. He'll be shaky.
Jacksonville also has a very good defense. We saw the offense, but their defense was very formidable.
I'm gonna say Jags are my pick. I don't think that's even gonna change heading into week one. I think that looking at this, it feels like my most secure vibe there. I just think everyone choosing the Panthers to lose. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying that. And again, don't want to fill Luis's head up too high with Bryce Young. But Bryce Young's not a long-term answer in my opinion, but he's still capable of winning a game. And the Panthers have
not going to put you out of them.
Yeah, any one game, I think he can do. And I still think it's good coach, good situation overall, good wide receiver room, underrated Chuba Hubbard. I like and I don't know how much Brazel will be involved early on, but I just think Brazel's a fantastic wide receiver, and I really think he's going to turn it on at some point. But even if he's not, it's still a good room. Who's on the line here? Oh, go ahead.
That's Steven.
All right, Steven, hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Hammer.
Yeah, I don't know what the line would be, but they probably would have Chicago maybe by a touchdown. I would smash Carolina with a touchdown all day long.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steven. You're live.
Yeah, Steven. Smitty, I just want to say you guys are good, man. I appreciate you, man. I enjoy listening to your advices and all. I wish I would listen to you sooner. It's going to be my second year doing fantasy football. So my question is that I know you did it earlier on about the running backs. I was thinking about doing Ash Genty and Jeremiah Love, but what's your thinking about what I should do on running backs?
Wait. Say it again. What's the dilemma?
Running backs draft.
In what picks?
First and second round.
Well, everything's about who's on the board, but Love and
Okay,
Genty
gotcha.
are great selections. Do you know what pick you're drafting at? What draft selection?
Well, last year I drafted like third. I took Jamar Chase.
No problem there. I mean, if you were to do that again, he's fine. A fine pick. But what do you
Yeah.
you don't know where you're drafting this year?
Well, they have like a 12-man league, so if I'm lucky, maybe I'll get top 5 pick.
So,
But
you
who
don't
knows? I could get the top 12. I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, if you're a running back kind of drafter, and everybody should draft to their strength, I'm not saying you shouldn't, learn how to become a drafter in any way, any approach, because that makes you a great best player available drafter. But if I'm drafting, at the top, it's Gibbs, no matter what. Bijan, if you're
right.
too. But honestly, if you get anywhere in the 5, 6, 7, and you just want an RB, Achan or Genty is. I have zero problem with you taking them earlier than taking them.
HN, yeah, you're right. HN and Genty, that'd be great.
And then if you get to this end here of the 11, 12, 13, I mean, if you grab a running back and then a wide receiver, come out balanced, and honestly, it makes you free as a bird when you get to the 3rd and 4th round. It's the problem that you have when you go RB or wide receiver is that you're forcing yourself when you get to this 3rd, 4th turn to take a wide receiver, and it might not be the best player on the board. So it is better and advantageous to have balance, but hopefully you get the one pick. You get the one pick, you take Gibbs or Bijan. I'd take Gibbs. And then, honestly, wide receiver, or love wide receiver have become some of my favorite strategies. If you're drafting in the middle, Genty and Rice, something like that. If you're drafting at the bookend 11, 12, 13, 14 territory, then honestly, Hampton, JJ, and obviously if Genty were to fall or something like that, but Hampton and JJ would be unbelievable. St. Brown. And if you go wide receiver, just make sure you can get good talent here and here in the 3rd.
And my question is also if I get one of those running backs, should I get a cuff back to go along with those? Just in case?
Always, cuff board right here. Screenshot that. I put it up on screen right now. This is the cuff board for right now. Not every person's a cuff. Not every player should be cuffed. There is a select group, but I do find that drafting Genty, I would take Washington for sure. And if you're drafting Bucky, you have to cuff. If you draft McCaffrey, you have to cuff. There's certain cuffs that you have to get. Like the cuff board will guide you. This tells you this is cuffing in importance. Like you have to. Everybody in the top 6 here, you should lose sleep at night if you don't cuff them.
Right.
All right, my boy.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, yeah. Call back on the 8 p.m. show if you have more questions. Later, bro.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
All right, Hammer. You got anything else real quick before I get out of here?
No. Go ahead and get out. Appreciate it.
All right. See you at 8 p.m. or sooner. Later, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, 420 Man, for the gifted membership in the Rumble chat. 20 to 30 people in and out of the Rumble chat. 90 to 150 into the YouTube. Things are going to get busy. We go live when big news breaks. We go live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, almost every single Monday through Friday. We go live at midnight Eastern, almost every single midnight. We go live more than we're probably not live. Might as well just stay live until 8 p.m., right? Wrong. All right, see you all 8 p.m. or sooner. We'll be breaking down the schedule at 8 p.m.
Quadruple J and Consultants.
Did you make a mess on the field? Don't fret. Call the cleanup crew. Call Quadruple J and Consultants.
Locations on Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Mecca and Buka, he is him. Buka is fast, with Buka you will win. Mecca is a rocket ship. Mecca, he's our man. He is Buka.
Audac attack. Audac attack. Man.
seconds. Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack.